Right now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go and welcome Dance House.
When I'm turned down, so we were supposed to.
might have two of the most stubborn Oldham fans.
Quickly run through the teams. There will be a couple of seconds delay for you to
Oh, so we're starting late. Okay, ignore that. We'll go on at 3 minutes to. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a rainy post office road, Featherstone, West Yorkshire, for the final game of Oldham's regular season. We're going to kick off a couple of minutes late because of the testing of the national emergency alarms. But we can bring you the team news, which is interesting as far as Oldham are concerned. No risks taken. Sean Long with that balance this week, wanting to maintain momentum but not wanting to pick up injuries to key men. And after both Ryan Briley and Josh Drinkwater have reported minor concerns in training during the week, both Briley and Drinkwater are missing today. Good atmosphere, as always is the case at Post Office Road. And here come the sides.
Straight after that, if you get the alert on your phone, no panic, no need to panic. It's just UK safety alert and your test. Just before pick up your answer there, I'm reminding you about the offload thing that's happening. It's the men's mental fitness program by the Foundation and the RLFC. It's a 6-week program down here at the Roughyeds Stadium, all run by the Foundation. If you want more details on that one,
so the two teams still waiting pitch side for their introduction after a lengthy opening monologue. But no Briley, no Drinkwater, so Ethan Ryan the fullback and Phoenix Laulu Tonganga in the halves.
Okay, Oldham Stadium, cameras stand behind the sticks at the Post Office Road end. You should have your alert by the way,
Featherstone have some big names in their lineup with Caleb Akins, their live wire fullback, Gadwin Springer up front, the enforcer. This should be a big playoff intensity contest as Matty Wildy leads Oldham onto the field at the Millennium Stadium, Post Office Road. Former Featherstone man and of course head coach Sean Long, the man who led Featherstone to the top of the championship while he was here. Back on familiar territory. Both teams line up, facing the main stand. And then we're ready to go. So Oldham will have Ethan Ryan at fullback, the two wingers. Opportunity knocks once again for Kieran Dixon and Jack Johnson to stake their claims ahead of the playoffs. The two bends at centre, O'Keefe and Davis. In the halves, the former Featherstone man Morgan Smith alongside Phoenix Laulu Tonganga A. Jack Ormonroyd and Owen Farnworth the starting props with Matty Wildy at 9. Matty Foster, so impressive on his debut, is in the back row with Ryan Lannon and Adam Milner, the 13. That's your starting lineup, a bench of George Hurst, Jay Chaplow, Tom Whitehead and Eloi Pellissier, who was an unused sub last week. Featherstone Rovers get us underway, playing in an unfamiliar green kit today. Lime green predominantly with the dark green sleeves, shorts and socks. And Featherstone playing down the hill, left to right. Oldham won the toss and have opted to go up the hill from right to left first as we look on. Wildy to Smith, here's Ryan Lannon. How will Oldham adapt to those two key absentees, Drinkwater and Briley? Wildy might get a lot of minutes, we'll see. Here's Milner. Phoenix, nice. To Matty Foster. Actually speaking to Phoenix before the game, I asked him if he had anything up his sleeve today. He said he's probably played more at half than fullback, he said, in his career so far, which surprised me. Last tackle, Oldham in the centre circle. This pitch used for football as well. And Morgan Smith has gone high. It's only reached about the 40. There was a slip there from Daryl Alford, but he took it, and Featherstone will start on their 30-metre line. Rovers have Aikens a fullback, Connor Wynne, Gareth Gale, Bailey O'Connor and Alferts. The halves, Danny Addy playing in there and Ben Reynolds. No Ryan Hampshire, of course, who's broken his arm, and this could end up being Ben Reynolds' last game of the season with a disciplinary looming for him. And Rovers with Addy are over halfway. Brad Day half through, Dixon gets to him. But Featherstone starting brightly down the hill with Gale. They're 30 out with Danny Addy centre field. Flat ball, well met by Ormond Royd, Wildy and Ryan Lannon. It's the last tackle. Reynolds dinks one. Jack Johnson will take, and he will go to ground just a couple of metres from the Featherstone Rovers goal line. The Oldham goal line, I beg your pardon. It's Featherstone on top early as Ben O'Keefe looks to bring it back. The Rovers fans wanted an obstruction there. You can probably hear the rain starting to intensify on the roof of the stands. We're right at the top of the main stand, the gantry here, high up at Post Office Road, a bird's eye view to bring you. 0-0 as you join us. We have had 2.5 minutes. So says the big screen as Matty Wildy kicks on the 4th. It's turned his former teammate Caleb Aikens around. And the New Zealand fullback will get Rovers up towards halfway. And it's Featherstone winning the arm wrestle early, and almost a knock on from Alferts. He juggled it twice and kept hold of what will now be a very slippy ball. A reminder, Oldham on a 4-match winning run, but can't finish any higher than 4th or any lower than 4th. So no risks taken with Drinkwater or Briley in the team selection. Featherstone very much playing for their playoff lives as Gadwin Springer runs over the top of Matty Wildy, but he gets nowhere because Farnworth is there. Last tackle there on the 30 again with Reynolds. And it's Ethan Ryan who's under this. Looking forward to seeing Ethan at fullback. He's a very strong returner of the football. Obviously a key asset for a fullback. Jack Johnson is halted, and Oldham already 2 down, still in their own 10 here. The Roughyeds under the pump early here, and we've got an injury, and it's Matty Foster who is off already here, and that's a concern. George Hurst is on. We'll try and keep an eye on that, but that's an early setback. That's the one thing you don't want. The final game of the season heading into the playoffs is injuries. Well, Matty Foster, he's got heavily strapped thigh already, and it looks to me like that's the problem. A reminder, in the back row, Matty Ashurst is out. We don't know whether he'll be back this year. Elijah Taylor, he's here. I've been speaking to him. He feels great, he wants to play, but he's awaiting clearance. Because of the amount of head knocks he's had, he's awaiting clearance to return. Here come Rovers, 30 away, but Matty Foster is off with an injury. And I wouldn't expect he'll be back, so that is a loss of an interchange too. That's the key news early on here, and here come Rovers with Beckett down the middle. He was impressive in the cup win at Boundary Park. Rovers with Reynolds going left, floated ball. Alfert against Jack Johnson. No way through. It's the last tackle. He stayed in the field of play. Millimetres shy of the line here. Rovers on the last. Reynolds angles the kick towards the post. Davis taps it backwards and then taps it dead in goal. It's going to be a dropout. Oldham really under pressure here. A dropout on the way from Oldham, who have lost Matty Foster already to injury. He's doing some stretching as I look down. Our commentary position is right above the Oldham bench. It's a perfect view. That's a real early setback, not just the injury, but to lose an interchange so early. Here's Gadwin Springer, Featherstone on top here. Currently 5th in the table, 6 points behind Oldham, but looking over their shoulder at Halifax and Widnes. Danny Addy, Brad Day, seasoned Championship pro. Featherstone 15 metres out right side. Aikens hovering, here he is the fullback, pops it up to Gadwin Springer. Says go on big man, and it's a penalty. Penalty against Oldham here. And there's a gimme too if Rovers want it, right in front of the sticks. And the kicking tee has already been called for. So Featherstone poised for points here. We've had 7 minutes at Post Office Road, and the home side are about to nudge ahead. It's the Oldham fans you can hear. Another really impressive travelling Oldham support. They've congregated in the far left corner as I'm looking on here. You can see the Oldham colours and you can hear the voices. But the Roughyeds poised to fall behind. Reynolds just to the right of the post. He's only 15 metres out. Won't be a problem at all, this. And a tricky start to the afternoon for Sean Long's men. No mistake from Reynolds. It's gone out of the ground, it's into the houses on Post Office Road. First Blood Rovers. Featherstone lead by 2 points to 0. Dixon restarts. Olferts is underneath it. And after 8.5 minutes, it's 2-0 to the home side. Springer down the hill. It's quite a significant hill. It's not Batley. But a considerable slope. Aikens goes to ground. Better defensive set from Oldham. Ben Reynolds will kick from inside his own half. Taken on the single bounce by Ethan Ryan, and this is where he can be dangerous from fullback. A really strong carrier of the ball. Morgan Smith, here's the dummy half. With Wildy out of position. I think he's just getting a breather, Matty. So Morgan from 9 and Kieran Dixon, fresh from signing for another year with Oldham. And back in the side. So frustrated, Dixon, to be on the sideline. And now he gets his chance. Wildy. Oldham over halfway here with Morgan Smith. Ethan Ryan joining in. Almost taken over the horizontal, but the tackle complete. It's the last tackle. Wildy will find Smith, 30 out. Aikens has a good view of this. Easy take. Phoenix is close to him, but he can't get to him. And Owen Farnworth has to help out with a big shot. But a better couple of minutes for Oldham. Featherstone, 2 tackles down in their own 30 here. Referee not happy, wants them to go back and play it again. Touch judges on the pitch too. Here's Danny Addy and Gareth Gale. Giant winger, playing in the centres for Rovers this year. Very nice guy. Works as a roofer during the day. Rovers just about over halfway here with a couple to go this set. Much more like it from Oldham though. A little bit unsettled with that early replacement. George Hurst straight into the action off the bench for Matty Foster, who has a problem. Danny Addy on the last, on the 40, spiral bomb. Ryan takes calmly. And Oldham start on their 20 and Dixon's in there again. But they're not getting an inch at the moment, Oldham. Jack Johnson now has a little run down the middle. Featherstone finished their season at Bradford Bulls, so they'll be wanting to win this game. Ryan Lannon almost gets a clear run. Wildy. Milner drawing the attack, gets it back off a Featherstone man, and that's 6 to go. Well, the fans don't like it, but it was clear as day. Clear as Brad Day, because that's who it bounced off. And Oldham gets 6 more. Phoenix into Ben Davis. Well watched by Connor Wynn. Wildy brings in Phoenix, nowhere to go. Oldham left side, 30 out with George Hurst. Oh, he's lost the ball. That will be a knock-on. Loose carry from George. He's annoyed with himself. Rovers have the ball back, and we've had a shade over 12 minutes, and it's 2-0 to the home side. So hello to all of you listening. Hi to Stan in Spain, to Wayne. Sorry that it's just me today. Ted has been stolen by BBC Radio Manchester. So he's alongside my friend Jack Dearden on Radio Manchester this afternoon. In the stand behind me. Hi to Ryan, hi to Howard, hi to Marie, to Dave Parker Moore. Hope you're okay, my friend. It's Featherstone drive up towards halfway. Hi to Creative Candy, to James as well. Hi to Chaz. And to Stuart. Danny Addy. Here's Brad Day running at Wildy and Milner. 2-0 Rovers lead. The Ben Reynolds penalty. Addy delays. Brings in Beckett down the middle. Grounded 20 out. Last tackle. Caleb Akins is waiting, but it goes to Reynolds. Grubber kick through. Ryan's got to get there. He's lost the ball, then touches down. It's going to be another dropout. Second dropout of the afternoon. Had to Paul. Good luck to the Roughyeds today. Had to Benny. Had to Ian Butterworth. To Peter listening at home. To Gino. To Michael in Turkey. To Julian Rhodes, to Roughyeds 74 in Wigan. Hi to Kathy as well. Hi to Craig. Heard you commentating yesterday on the Wheelchair Rugby League, George. Yes, I was. Spent the day at Nottingham University on the Betfred Wheelchair Super League playoffs. It's a long day, very enjoyable. You've not missed anything. Ethan Ryan receiving some treatment, and then Oldham will drop out. Hello to a couple of Featherstone Rovers fans tuning in as well. I'm sure you have your own commentary service. I used to do that. For 2 years with Featherstone Rovers TV. Prior to Oldham. Good to see some friendly faces on my trip back to Post Office Road this afternoon. Gadwin Springer has the ball. He's on the ground at the moment, which is where you want him. Oh, 6 again, says the referee. This could be a problem, because Featherstone are right in front with 6 tackles to play with here. Springer again, bringing in Danny Addy. Brad Day takes it on. Featherstone 5 away, looking for the first try of the afternoon with 15 minutes gone, leading 2-0. Danny Addy wearing 13 but playing at 6 today, alongside Ben Reynolds. Will Jubb, the former York hooker in the school cap. Addy, Reynolds, Akins, it's good link up. Oh, and Akins has got away from Ben O'Keefe. That was sloppy from Oldham. Akins straightens up and Wildy has to keep him out. Still a couple to go this set. They're right under the post Featherstone, they're going to come left again with Will Job, who senses something on his own. He's spinning towards the line. Wildy is there with Ethan Ryan. I think he's held up over the goal line. It's a nervy start from Oldham. Those two key changes if you joined us late. No Briley or Drinkwater. Reynolds floats one over the top. Jack Johnson needs to get there. He does. Was he in the field of play? He was. So it's dropout number 3 for Oldham, who are really under the pump here. Hi to John and Linda in Tenerife. Jen listening from a sunny poolside in Napoli. And that's more like it. Keith in Blackwater. Short kickoff. Oh, yes, we'll have a bit of that. Dropout finds Kieran Dixon. And Oldham have the ball back. They needed that. Here's Ben Davis. Well, I mentioned the hill before. If you've not been to Post Office Road, it's not Batley. It's nothing like the 10-metre drop that Batley is from top to bottom, but it is a considerable slope here at the Millennium Stadium. The referee's not happy here. Twice. And Oldham won the toss. Matty Wildy won the toss an hour before kick-off. And remember, he played here a few years with Featherstone. And he said, yep, you play here, you play uphill first. So we'll trust Matty on that. As Morgan Smith kicks early, looking for a 40-20. Oh, he's unlucky. He bounced in the field of play and then bounced backwards. Not a bad effort. Caleb Aiken's in a rush to get a move on here. And the first 18 minutes has absolutely flown by. And the way it's going, you'd take 2-0 at half-time. Excellent defence. Hi to Rachel. Morning, George. Hi to Rachel in Canada. To Chris in Dublin. Yeah, as Wayne says, strange game when we have effectively nothing to play for today. I agree. It's that really weird... You're trying to find that sweet spot, aren't you, Wayne, between wanting to keep the momentum going. This could be a 5th win in a row today, but you don't want to pick up any injuries. And you just want to get through the game. And then it's a week off anyway. But momentum is so important going into the playoffs. I'd always be going full pelt, I really would. I think when you're worried about injuries, that's when you tend to pick them up. If you just play full pelt, full at it, you take your chances. That's my view anyway. Last tackle with 30 out in front of the sticks. Says referee Mr. Rush today. Danny Addy's going to put one high. Davies acts as a blocker, asking Dixon to come. He was taken out in the air. Gareth Gale has given a penalty away. And to be fair to Gareth Gale, he gave himself up straight away. I think it was unintentional. He's put his hand in the air. But Dixon had his eye on the ball. The Oldham fans want a red card. They're not going to get that. But that is a real pressure reliever. Midway point of the first half. Again, a reminder if you joined us early. Oh, that ball's coming towards us. Matty Foster lasted 3 minutes, I think. He had heavy strapping. I don't know if it's thigh, hamstring or groin. Clearly something bothering him. And that he was feeling that area when he came off. Oh, now then, as Farnworth knocks on, he has. Brad Day was in front of him in the tackle. Owen Farnworth has just got up on his own 30-metre line without the football. These are the errors that Oldham cannot take, cannot carry into the playoffs. Speaking to Sean Long before the game, he admitted, of course, he wanted the victory, but he just wanted a good performance. He wants to maintain the momentum with a performance. The result will come if you get the performance, but these kind of things, the handling errors can't be happening. It's knockout rugby league from here on in. Here's Gareth Gale, Rovers, back in possession. 30 out from the Oldham line. Hurst in the tackle with Wildy. Wildy all over Gale. Job to Springer, met by Milner. Norman Royd helps him out. He's a big unit. He's Gadwin, the France international. Will Job to Reynolds. Norman Royd with a big shot on Nathan Wild. Featherstone dominating possession and territory. They make their first change. The good news is that Gadwin Springer is off. The bad news is that King Vuniya Yawa is on, the former Salford and Hull FC prop. Here come Rovers into the Oldham 10. It's the last tackle. Oldham are back on their line once more. They've already dropped out 3 times. Addy wants to force another repeat set. Davis up. Oh, and he's claimed it well. Now he'll give it to Dixon. Up the hill for Kieran. Not this time. Well chased down by Connor Wynne. But a really good claim by Ben Davis. So strong in the air. George Hurst. He'll keep a good hold of this one. Both arms on the football. 21 gone at the Millennium Stadium, Post Office Road. Jack Johnson probably thought his appearances have come to an end this season, but he gets a chance today. Chaplow. Chaplow's just come on for Jack Ormonroyd. Lannan stutters into the Rovers defensive line. It's the last. Oldham still in their own half here. Ethan Ryan runs it, and then Smith will kick on halfway. He's drilling it for touch. That tells you everything. Morgan Smith going for touch, just to give everyone a breather. And it'll be Rovers ball, I think, around about their 20-metre line. And it's 2-0. It's tight. Addy, here come Featherstone with Connor Wynne. Addy again at dummy half. Daryl Olferts, former Super League winger. It's another penalty this, yeah. Matty Wildy wants a word with the ref here to find out how he's reading this game. I think Owen Farnworth has been penalised. Second penalty given away by Oldham. And Rovers will roll down the hill again. Oh, not the best kick. He's made less than 10 metres, Ben Reynolds, there. Onto the roof of the Millennium Stadium stand on the far side, into the players' car park behind that, where they train in the gym during the week. Here's Jimmy Beckett, shows a little dummy. He's a very highly rated player here, Beckett. Can Featherstone turn some of this pressure into points? King Vuniya Yawa. Still going. Hurst, Wildy and Milner eventually halt his progress. Everything back left of Will Job here. 20 out from the Oldham line. Reynolds looking to open it up. They might have a 3-on-2. Good sliding defence, Oldham. Had to be. That was Morgan Smith helping out Ben O'Keefe. Reynolds is seeing the ball every time here. He dances into Ryan Lannan. You wouldn't do that by choice. Last tackle. Have Oldham defended another set? It's Addy. He's going to angle one back over to Jack Johnson here. Oh, it's claimed. He's had his pocket pick, Jack Johnson. Daryl Olford scores. Just stole it off him in the air. Johnson barely got off the ground. Olferts did. First try of the game goes to Featherstone, and it's 6 points to 0. For 6-0 Rovers, 15 to go until the break, and that was on the last tackle. Olferts just got higher than Jack Johnson there. And the Roughyeds regroup behind the posts. No need to panic, we've been here before, haven't we? 6-0 with a kick to come, and down the hill second half. But off the back of a penalty again, wasn't it? There was a handling error in Oldham's last set, backed up by a penalty when Featherstone got the ball back, and here we are stood behind the post. Reynolds to take us into a 2-score game. 6-0 at the moment is nothing. 8-0 becomes slightly more of an issue. Reynolds is about 5 metres in from the touchline. He likes it. And Featherstone lead 8-0.
Successful combination, Featherstone Rovers number 6, Ben Reynolds, and by Hugh Taylor.
Hi to Jenny and sunny Dusseldorf up the Yeds. And Rovers have an 8-0 lead as Kieran Dixon kicks off. Scoreboard says 6-0. I can guarantee you it's 8. And 13 and a half to go until the break. Oldham haven't had a chance yet for points. Not even a sniff. I think we've had one possession in the Featherstone half. Absolutely dominating the ball at the moment. They're in possession here with Will Job. Beckett again. Impressive front rower. Here's Brad Day. Wrapped up by Davis and Phoenix. It's the last tackle. Featherstone are only up to halfway here, so Gale goes back to Danny Adiu. He's almost charged down by Davis. He didn't like that. Davis didn't do anything wrong. Dixon skipping away and Ethan Ryan takes it on, where he runs straight into another former Salford Red Devil king, Vaniya Yawa. Good starting spot though for Phoenix on 40. Oldham trying to buy a penalty for the markers not being square. Referee not having it. A penalty from this kind of position is what Oldham need to get up the pitch. Jack Johnson crowded out on halfway. Wildy, here's Chaplow. Oldham 10 metres now inside the Featherstone half, with Wildy going right to Morgan Smith. Little stutter step, and then Lannon bounces into the tackle. This will be the last. 30 out, right of centre with Wildy. He's gone skinny side to Morgan Smith. He's saying to Ben O'Keefe, chase that down. Alfert's the try scorer, gets there. Morgan Smith has chased him down himself. And Featherstone have to start their set 10. That was a much better set from Oldham. Just looking down, Elwar Pelissier warming up. He was so frustrated last week, Elwar. Didn't get a minute. It was such a tight game, wasn't it? Elwar wasn't used. I'm sure we'll see him today. Got a live wire hooker on both bench. Look out for Connor Jones for Rovers too, the Australian. Hi to Terry, Rovers fan. Great commentary, George. Good to hear you back at Post Office Road. Good to be back. Happy couple of seasons here. Ethan Ryan is letting that one go into touch on the far side. Didn't fancy that kick return. Intensity has just dropped a little bit with 10 and a half to go until the break. And Oldham, of course, with a reduced interchange bench after that very early injury to Matty Foster. Ben Davis on the Oldham 20-metre line. Smith finds Dixon running into traffic. PLT is the hooker this time, brings in Milner. Keeps hold of the ball himself, Adam Milner. Chaplow wanted it, he was the runner. In fact, we're going to see Elwar Pelissier very early here, that's interesting. Well, he didn't get off the bench last week, Elwar. And he's straight into it in first half here. Well, Whitehead's on, by the way, as well. For Farnworth. So Farnworth and Ormond are off. Smith's going for touch again. I'm not sure that one's going to make it, is it? Yes, it is. Got a kind bounce. Matty Wildy off. Elwha on, that's an interesting change from Sean Long, looking to get on the front foot. After 29 minutes, it's time for Elwha Pellissier, looking to spark Oldham into life. Featherstone have it on their own 20-metre line. It's the try scorer Alferts. The other 4 points coming from the boots of Ben Reynolds. 8-0 Featherstone Rovers lead, playing down the hill left to right first half at Post Office Road. Will Jubb. Chaplow big in the tackle. Here's Danny Addy, he's going to kick early I think, yep. He's going to stay in the field of play though. Ethan Ryan will watch it carefully, pick it up, and then Caleb Akins is with him. It's Connor Wynn, I beg your pardon, who ankle taps him. It was Connor Wynn down this right side. Akins has stayed back deep because Addy had kicked very early in the tackle count, and Connor Wynn came down the right and ankle tapped Ethan Ryan. Here's Ben O'Keefe in off the touchline. That's a really strong carry from Ben O'Keefe. Pellissier feeds Dixon. Oh, Davis wasn't looking. Oldham have turned it over. It's another unforced error. Dixon skipped into the line. Ben Davis assumed that Dixon was taking the contact, and then Dixon offloaded and Ben Davis had already looked the other way. And this could be problematic for Oldham. This could cost points, this. They're 20 out now, Featherstone, with Reynolds. Danny Addy, that looked forward, but the ref says it's fine. And they're 5 away. Falling off the tackle is Lannon. 2 metres short. Desperate Oldham defence here. They're already 8-0 down. Addy delays one. Milner goes in hard. 9 minutes to go until half time. Will Jubb. Back to Reynolds. Brings in Gareth Gale. Big contact from Whitehead. Will Jubb, couple to go. Reynolds is drilling one through early. Oldham need to react here. Morgan Smith taps it behind. It's another dropout. 4th of the first half. Ben Davis takes a drop out. He's drilled one and Brad Day does well. He put his hand up, it went in the air and he caught it at the second attempt. Like a slip fielder juggling an edge. Oh, and King was knocked on. That's a big let-off. Jay Chaplow celebrates. You can probably hear him from here. Boy, did Oldham need that. Another 6 points on top of an 8-0 lead. And it becomes a real issue half-time. But Oldham have got the ball back here with 8 to go until the break. And they trail 8-0. How are you feeling at home, by the way? Might as well enjoy this. No jeopardy on this result. Yes, we want a performance, no more injuries, but Oldham are finishing 4th no matter what. You wait till we're into sudden death stuff in a couple of weeks' time. Marie says, any more news on new signings, George? No, nothing that I've been told. As soon as there's any concrete news, I will announce it, but nothing on the radar yet. Obviously, there'll be the deadline's passed for this season. Rebuilding will take place for the 2026 campaign. Whether that will be at this level or higher, who knows what's going to happen with the Super League application. Fun time at the moment. Oldham over halfway here. 7 to go until the break. 8-0 Rovers. We're going to see another early kick. Well, it's last tackle, I beg your pardon. And it's a good kick actually for territory. Morgan Smith looking to take control. Daryl Alferts just let it go. And that's gone right into the top corner by the scoreboard. And that's turned Featherstone around. This will be a different game second half, trust me. The slope does take it out of you. Oldham opted to play uphill first half. This game is there. Mark my words. Here's Olferts, former Castleford winger. Hi from the Doyle family, listening at home, cooking Sam's dinner. What's he having, Sam? I'll make sure he doesn't eat anything on the coach on the way home. Not to ruin his dinner. Reynolds over halfway, and there's a clean break for Rovers here. 2-on-1. Ethan Ryan got sucked in. Couldn't do anything about it, he had to go. And Rovers strike with another. I think it was Bailey O'Connor down the left wing. Yes, it was. And suddenly, Rovers lead 12-0 with a kick to come. And the kick is in front of the sticks. Work to do for Oldham. They're the remaining 45 minutes here. Rovers rampant at the moment. Oldham need to find a way to stop the bleeding here. Reynolds, who's kicked 2 from 2, has one. Another kick right in front. We've got 4.5 to go until the break, and it's going to be a 14-0 Featherstone Rovers lead. I'm not sure the Rovers fans can believe what they're seeing here from their side. Reynolds made no mistake. And the home side lead 14-0. So looking at outside that top 4, the top 4 is going to be York or Toulouse at the top, and then Bradford and Oldham the top 4. But then it's tight. Featherstone currently in 5th on 26, Halifax in 6th on 25, Widnes in 7th on 24. That was all coming into today with 2 games to go. So that fight between those 3 for the remaining 2 playoffs spots is fierce. A reminder that Featherstone go away to Bradford next weekend. So you would say Featherstone have to win this game today. And at the moment, they're well on course. 14-0 with 3 to go until the break. And nothing at all to cheer for Oldham this afternoon so far. Well job. Here's King Veneer Yawar. Akins running down the middle and over halfway for Rovers. And they're all green today. Last tackle. Danny Addy's controlling things. He's turning Dixon around. He's going to find touch. Nice kick. Bobbles into touch inside the 10. And I think even at 14-0 down, Oldham want half time here. Just glancing around behind me into the main stand where Ted Chaplow commentating for Radio Manchester. He's mid-sentence at the moment. In front of him, I can see Bill Quinn and Mike Ford. Mike looking very relaxed, Bill looking furious at the moment. Not enjoying this, Mr. Quinn. Here's Ben O'Keefe. Oldham need a spark. Jay Chaplow up the middle. Good carry from Jay. Here's Pellissier. Whitehead. Oh, good stuff from the Warrington man. Now Phoenix over halfway with a bit of a scamper. Closing moments, bounces off a tackle and offload. O'Keefe right side. First time with a bit of a buzz in opposition territory. It's the last tackle. Oldham 30 out with Phoenix he's going to kick. Puts one up high. Lannon and Ryan are after it. Ethan Ryan It's gone backwards, has it? Picked up by Lannan. This could be play on. This could be a Ryan Lannan try. What a result Oldham have had here if this is awarded. Phoenix with the towering bomb. Referee hasn't given it yet. He has now. Oldham have struck out of nothing. Out of absolutely nothing on the stroke of half time. Ethan Ryan challenged the PLT bomb, and of all people it dropped to Ryan Lannan to stroll in unopposed. Oldham are on the board and this is game on. Well, sometimes you see scores against the run of play. But how on earth Oldham have got points on the board here? Sean Long has spoken a lot about resilience and patience. Well, credit the Roughyeds. They've hung on. They've been clinging on first half. And Kieran Dixon over the kicking tee could reduce this to a 14-6 half-time deficit. And you would take that on the balance of play all day long. Lannan's try off Phoenix's kick. Playing at half-back today, Phoenix. Dixon likes it. And that's the hooter. Well, Featherstone Rovers look shell-shocked here. They're deep in conversation. A first half dominated by the home side has ended with 6 points for Sean Long's men. Oldham will be downhill second half. Get your kettle on. Don't go anywhere. Half time at the Millennium Stadium, Post Office Road. It's Featherstone Rovers 14, Oldham 6. Oldham are back on the field. Big 40 minutes required from Sean Long's men, who were very much second best in the first half here at Post Office Road. Roughyeds will have the advantage of the slope second half, although as we found out at Batley, it's not always a huge advantage. Here come Rovers. And a reminder that Oldham bench is down to 3. Matty Foster injured very early. It's Wildy, Farnworth and Ormonroyd on it at the moment. Sounds like they've swapped the half-time hooter for an air raid siren since I was last here. Now then, what can we produce second half? A reminder, top 4 is secure. Oldham will be at home in a couple of weekends' time. We'll confirm, by the way, the date of that fixture as soon as we know, be it a Friday night potentially or a Sunday. We'll have that confirmed as soon as we know. But for those of you able to come to the game, keep all your options open. But Oldham will be at home. We don't know who yet. Could yet be Featherstone at Boundary Park. Although if Oldham can win this game, I think Halifax will leapfrog Featherstone into 5th. Halifax leading Widnes at the moment, which would mean Widnes are out of contention, and Oldham have given away a penalty 30 seconds into the second half. Exactly what you don't want, a penalty on the Featherstone 30. So Rovers up the hill are going to be attacking the Oldham line here straight away. So Oldham need to get on it. Here is Caleb Aikens, throws a dummy and almost through. They're looking to catch Oldham cold right at the start of the second half. Featherstone having been stung by that late try in the first. Vanilla Yawa running at George Hurst. Helped out by Ben Davis. Shifting it right, Aikens runs into Whitehead. Oldham need to get on it quick here. Rovers are 5 out. Back to Reynolds. Straightens up. Brings in Clay Webb wearing 17. This is the last tackle. They're going to come to the left. Reynolds floats one. Jack Johnson doesn't get there and Rovers knock on. If Danny Addy takes that, it was knocked back, I think, by Alferts again. Jack Johnson again didn't get to the kick. It was knocked back in field. Addy couldn't claim it. If he takes it cleanly, it's a try. And that's another let-off for Oldham. Hi to Michelle and friends in Lanzarote by the pool having a beer. To Warren, Shelley, Joe, Tracy, young Joe Archie and Anne, Ellie and the baby. And Oldham get a penalty while I was saying hello. Ollie, only 3 months old, Yeds fan. How cute, lovely to hear. Morgan Smith is drilling one into touch. And Oldham, that's a penalty apiece, second half. Can Oldham find a way to get on the front foot here? Having not really been in this contest. 2 tries to 1 in Featherstone's favour, plus a penalty. So 14-6, 3 gone second half. Pelissier to Morgan Smith. Whitehead with a strong carry. Pelissier to Phoenix, playing in the halves today. Attacking the line is PLT. Was he taken high? Oh, referee says no, it was round the shoulder. Like to see that again. Phoenix shakes his head as Pelissier tries to attack the line himself. Bounces off a couple, still going Eloire. Eventually they get to him. This is more like it. Milner's first receiver, can they get it to him? Here he is, Adam. Smith. It's gone behind everyone. Ethan Ryan needs to pick this up. And now that's knocked on by Devil Alford. He's going to let them go. The referee's let Bailey O'Connor go. Rovers are going to score. Oh, it's an ankle tap by Davis, and then Rovers score. Surely that was a Featherstone knock on. The try's awarded. Bailey O'Connor scoops up the loose ball on halfway. And Rovers extend their lead. Well, the ball was bouncing everywhere. Oldham should have dealt with it, that's the first thing to say. And that was a real mess. Ben Davis was flying back, he got the ankle tap, but the second effort from O'Connor took him over. And this is going to be a 6-pointer. It's going to be Featherstone 20, Oldham 6 after this. Second try for O'Connor. Reynolds with an easy kick just to the left of the post. I'd like to have another look at that. I might have got that wrong. My initial instinct was that with the bodies on the ground, Devil Alford had knocked it forward. But I've not seen a replay. That was my reading in real time. The referee had a better view than me, I think, down there, so we will see. Reynolds has agged the 2. And it's a big lead for Featherstone now. It's 20 points to 6. That needs to be it as far as the loose stuff goes from Oldham. Still plenty of time. 14 points the difference. 34 minutes remaining. Well, that was a very poor try to concede. Here is Alford, who was involved. Will Jubb. Rovers looking for a penalty. They're not going to get it. Chaplow does well with Whitehead. And then again, 2 tackles in a row from Jay there. Caleb Akins, a hush around the ground. Not sure Rovers fans can believe this. Last tackle right on halfway. Reynolds. High one. Ethan Ryan's right underneath it. And he floats one to Kieran Dixon, who was immediately crowded out. Well, a few square pegs in round holes today, and it isn't as smooth and fluid as we've become used to. A reminder, no Ryan Briley or Josh Drinkwater, and still no Elijah Taylor or Matty Ashurst. Elijah is here, Josh Drinkwater's here as well. Could do with them out there at the moment. Here's Ben Davis. It's one-up rugby from Oldham. Nothing really clicking. Here's Pelissier. Whiteheads. Smith shows a dummy but runs straight into a green brick wall. And it's going to be a double change from Featherstone. Connor Jones is coming on. Phoenix off the outside of his boot. Caleb Akins takes it. Good chase from Jack Johnson and Ben O'Keefe. Robson, Stevens and Connor Jones on for Rovers. Will Jubb is off. Nathan Wild is the other man to be replaced. We're going to see Jack Ormonroyd and Owen Farnwick in a double Oldham change in a moment. 8 minutes gone, second half. Featherstone have extended their lead up the hill by 6. Here's Reynolds again. Akins, wrapped up by Pelissier. It's the last tackle, just inside the Oldham half. Reynolds to go high again. Ryan takes it. And then he's hit by Vania Yawa. Here's Jack Johnson. And here comes that double change. Farnworth is on. Chaplow is off. And Ormondroyd waits. And it's Ormondroyd for Adam Milner is the other change. So a bit of a reshuffle in the back row. Farnworth wants a penalty. Want to get one. Here's Whitehead attacking the line. Last tackle, Oldham still in their own half. Morgan Smith. Drilling one in between fullback and winger. It's picked up by Olferts, who flings one to Caleb Akins. Oh, and then he offloads to Connor Wynn. Here come Featherstone. Oh, and he's through! Steps around Morgan Smith. Has he got support? Ben O'Keefe gets back to him. Oldham caught cold. Featherstone up to the Oldham 40. Connor Jones and his fresh legs. They're clinging on here, Oldham. But they didn't play the ball. Featherstone Rovers and Oldham have the ball back. That's a loose one from the home side. And it's going to be Lannon to tap. Pelissier to Davis. Whitehead, Smith. Lannon. Here's Pelissier. Morgan Smith. Steps through the line, but then he's wrapped up by Clay Webb. Pelissier. Floated past. Farnworth through. Offloading picked up by Whitehead. Farnworth makes an Oldham try. And it's a first for Tom Whitehead. Made by Owen Farnworth. That was a much more Oldham-like try. And Dixon to put another 2 on the scoreboard. Farnworth attacked the line. Flung a big offload from his half break. It was picked up cleanly by Tom Whitehead. And he had a great turn of pace to go through. Now then, Dixon needs to add this. Very clean strike, no mistake. 20 points to 12 with plenty of time. We've already played 13 minutes, second half, back to time. 27 remaining. Can Oldham do a bit more of that? Let's see. Phoenix takes the kick off, and Farnworth, who created that moment for Whitehead, was announced inside the ground as a Matthew Foster try. He's not been on the pitch since 3 minutes in. Just glancing back at the live chat, slight change in tone. Keep it positive, guys, we're better than that. Some of the messages I'm reading here. Come on. Here's Phoenix. Ben Davies takes it on. PLT over halfway, fends off Brad Day. Oh, Whitehead through again! But a forward pass. Oh, that was marginal. But Oldham are waking up here. That was a flat ball, the touch judge gave it. Whitehead was through, in truth he didn't have support. So I don't think he would have gone all the way. Can Oldham start to turn the screw? They trail by 8 to 20 points to 12. Lannon and Morgan Smith on Daryl Elferts, and then again from Morgan Smith. 2 tackles complete in quick succession. Reynolds brings in Addy, pops one up to Vania Yawa. It's been a very long stint on the sideline for Gadwin Springer. Connor Jones. Reynolds trying to step past Ryan Lannon. Couple to go this set. 25 minutes to go at Post Office Road. Addy. Ormonroyd and Farnworth in the tackle. It's the last tackle, they're 30 out in front of the post, Featherstone. Reynolds will kick, floats one, Ryan sets off early, claims it, he's got to go back in his in goal area, and he's going to have to drop out, Oldham. Ethan Ryan was trapped in goal, and Oldham will drop out. That was a really good set from Featherstone. Ben Davies with a big dropout. He's got over halfway, the centre. But here come Rovers on the charge. Jimmy Beckett back on for King for Vania Yawa. Jones, Danny Addy. Featherstone in a really good field position here. Oh, and Gareth Gale's almost through. Cut right through Oldham there. They're 10 out. Beckett's got loads of room to go with. Has he scored a try? He's only been on the field 30 seconds. It opened up. And Beckett scores. Featherstone extend their lead.
Number 10, Jimmy Beckett, sponsored by Queen Fine Mechanical.
Paul Cook down on the sideline now talking to Connor Jones. And Beckett, he literally just come off on the field, took a pass and powered through. And Reynolds has another easy conversion attempt. This is going to be back to a 14-point game. Still over a quarter of the game to go. Reynolds to add 2 more. No mistake. 4 tries to 2 in Featherstone's favour, and they lead 26-12. So Dixon will kick off. Davis, oh, he was steaming into Conor Wynne, who saw him coming and got out of the way. Gareth Gale up the middle. I think another Featherstone try probably finishes this one off. Still plenty of time, but Oldham need to kick into gear here as Olferts goes down the middle. Jones, Addy, Day. Featherstone on halfway. Caleb Akins. Dealt with by Orman Royd, and Farnworth, who just needs to calm down a bit, Owen, I think. There's been a bit of afters a couple of times. Dixon's under the high kick here, takes it cleanly, and then steps into traffic. And Oldham right at the top of the hill again, trailing 26-12, still 20 minutes to go. Oh, and a penalty has gone against Oldham here, in possession. I'll be honest, I just glanced down at my notepad, so I missed that. But Oldham had possession and have been penalised here. I think the referee wants to talk to Owen Farnworth. Well, I did say that Owen needs to calm down, and he's now being spoken to by the referee. There are some frustrated bodies out there. But Oldham in possession have been penalised. And this is kickable if they want another 2, I'm sure they will. Or they could just mount the pressure on the line. I think Reynolds might be going for touch here. I think Rovers sense they could kill this game right here. You're not missing anything. There's an Oldham player being patched up out there. Hi to Luke. Yeah, I've seen your message, Luke. Yeah, maybe I will finish that Sean Long story from the other week for a bit of light relief. I forgot I didn't tell you the end of that. Some of the other negative comments on the live chat at the moment are so disappointing to read. We are, as a group, a lot better than some of the comments I'm reading. And for the account that calls himself Horse Info, having a go at Sean Long for resting players, Drinkwater and Briley had injuries, that's why they're not playing. They might be playing if it's a grand final, it's not. You don't want to play your superstars when they're carrying injuries. I think I'd back Sean Long's judgment over yours on that one. We've still got a stoppage in play here. I think Danny Addy might be going off actually for Featherstone. Well, he stayed on actually, Danny Addy here. Well, no. I think they're just going to tap. No one knows what's going on here. Anyway, time back on. Jones taps, Reynolds. Here's a try scorer, Beckett. Will jumps back on. And Danny Addy is now off. Rovers attacking the line. Here they come. 26-12 with 20 minutes to go. Connor Jones right in front. Reynolds. Caleb Akins opens up. Farnworth gets to him. Good shot from Owen. Will Job. Oh, Oldham froze there and Featherstone almost took advantage. They're right on the line here. Job. This is another Rovers try. Reynolds. Grubber kick through. Couple of ricochets. Now then, ref saying knock on by who? If he's saying knock on, it must be Oldham ball this, because Featherstone had got it back. Yeah, he's come to the right call there. And it will be Oldham ball. And everyone just needs a breather. 26-12, so 2 converted tries plus the extra penalty, 4 tries to 2. But Oldham have barely seen much of the Rovers line. Here's Ben Davis, who's put the typical all-action performance in. Pelissier's had a really long stint out there. That's interesting as well. Matty Wildy was withdrawn, what was it, 29 minutes in, and we've not seen him since. We had the injury as well to Matty Foster. So plenty to pick through here. Pelissier goes for a little scamper. That's what he can do. Morgan Smith delays and then brings in Phoenix. PLT, he was through, but as he extended for the offload, he had no one in support. It's the last tackle. Ethan Ryan will find Smith. He'll have to kick. Crossfield and high. Caleb Akins' favourite. Davis is after him. Akins claims. And Rovers will regather the ball 20 metres in. Yeah, so the story with Sean Long punching me. So it was in a celebrity football match for John Wilkins' testimonial in, I think, 2012. So when Wilkin was still playing, he had a kind of a pro-celebrity football match at Saints at Langtree Park. Now, I don't play rugby, but I've always fancied myself as a bit of a footballer, so I was roped into playing. And I was obviously 13 years younger than I am now, so I was still in pretty good nick. And Sean Long was on the opposition. We'll pause there, and Rovers on the last. Reynolds is going to go high. Ethan Ryan's after this. Clean claim from Ryan, and Oldham will start on 40. So I thought I'd be able to show the rugby players a thing or two about football skills. But I was marking Sean Long, and he was good. He was so quick, and he had a good touch. And twice in a row, he knocked it past me. And there was quite a big crowd in as well. He was starting to embarrass me a little bit. He knocked the ball past me and beat me for pace. So I kind of said to myself, next time he gets it, I'm having him. So Sean controlled the ball, and I came in blindside from behind, and I went in 2-footed on him. And to say Sean didn't react to that well would be an understatement. Here's Ryan Lannon, Oldham up to 20 away. He turned round and leathered me one, and I deserved it. Here's Morgan Smith attacking the line. George Hurst on the last disc, and that is the turnover. Better from Oldham, but Featherstone defend their line. Yeah, so I was lying on the ground, having completed this awful 2-footed tackle, and suddenly Sean Long threw quite a nice, clean left hook, caught me quite nicely, and I couldn't say I didn't deserve it. And yeah, it was because he was flying to Dubai the next day to play in the Dubai Sevens, and I threatened his participation in that with a very silly tackle. We shook hands and had a pint afterwards, and it was all fine. But yeah, that's the only time in my life I've ever clocked a punch, and it was from our head coach. So there we are. That's stolen a couple of minutes, hasn't it? 26-12, 15 to go. And Caleb Akins down the middle. Last tackle. It's with Reynolds. It's gone high. Where's that? Is that stayed in? No, he's got his angles wrong there. He's kicked out on the full. It's just got a bit subdued. Oldham know that this result doesn't matter. Of course, you want to win this game. Of course you do. But you can just sense that you just want to get through it without injuries, really. Players are only human. Ormondoy's coming back off and Jay Chaplow is on. Dixon and then Davis. Whitehead, who's had a good game, steps out of a couple and then runs into the man mountain that is Gadwin Springer. Reminder, regardless of the result here, we'll have our usual post-match media reaction. I'll be on the pitch and speaking to the head coach Sean Long. No game, remember, next week, and then we're into sudden death rugby league at Boundary Park, and we want all of you with us. Here's Pelissier, little dummy from dummy half, skips away from Springer. Farnworth trying to punch a hole in this Featherstone defence. And Oldham try now, and who knows? 13 and a half remaining. 30 out from the post down the hill with Pelissier. Morgan Smith, first receiver left side. 6 again, says the referee. That'll help. Chaplow takes it on. This is a really good chance for Oldham. Chaplow held 20 away in front of the sticks. Pelissier with that one-handed pickup. Little step from PLT and then he slips, but he gets up and he's still going feet. And he's grounded 5 away, and Oldham have a penalty here. They just need to tap and go. So Oldham penalty right in front. 2 points really doesn't make, well, I suppose it does. It's a 3-score game. It would bring it back to 2 converted tries, but you've got to keep going here. You need the big points. And Pelissier eventually taps. And we're off again with Farnworth. Can Oldham get over the line? Their fans camp behind the post here at the bottom of Post Office Road. Pelissier. Chaplow looking to barge over. Springer says no way. Zelwar again. Floated to PLT. Ethan Ryan joining in, but from a standing start. Does well. Oldham within 2. Who's going to unlock the door here? It's an awful pass. Oh, and then it's knocked on. That sums up Oldham's afternoon. The pass didn't find anyone. Jay Chaplow tried to rescue it. And then trying to knock it back, he's knocked it on. More frustration for Oldham. And moments like that, you sense it isn't going to be Oldham's day. Now Oldham give away a penalty. And the clock ticks towards 11 minutes to go. Ian saying good job it was Sean Long and not Adrian Morley, George. Do you think I would have done that on Adrian Morley? I'm daft, but I'm not that daft. I think I underestimated Sean. Certainly I didn't, I wasn't familiar with the Sean Long temper at that point. There's Gadwin Springer for Rovers. Reynolds. And Bailey O'Connor, who's on a hat-trick. I would like to see his second try again. That's what's really killed Oldham's comeback second half, if there was ever going to be a comeback, of course. So Oldham look like they're going to be heading into the playoffs off a defeat. Here's Ben Reynolds. That's a loose one. Picked up by O'Connor. Kicks to himself. Farnworth cleans him out. He could get done for that. It's still play on. Will Jubb's got it. No, is the ref going to rule against Farnworth? Well, no, he said play on. That was on the 4th, so they've got a last tackle in front. It's with Connor Jones. Reynolds going to kick for the corner. Does so. Johnson's going to react. Gets fingertips on the ball. Oldham will drop out. And I think even at 26-12 down, Oldham probably want to get out of Featherstone. It's not been a good afternoon. Dropout reaches the 40. Jones. There goes Gadwin Springer. You can hear the contact from here. Gadwin very slow to get up. Jones kicks to himself. Ethan Ryan has to react and does. Not done a great deal wrong at fullback, Ethan. I'm sure we'll see him back on the wing in a couple of weeks' time with the return of Riley and Drinkwater. A reminder, if you did miss the news and you're just choosing to criticise Sean Long for resting those two, they were both struggling in training on Friday and the decision was taken not to take any risks. I completely agree with that decision, regardless of what's happened here this afternoon. Here's Pelissier, Oldham on the 30. Lannan. He's never stopped running, Ryan. So last tackle, Oldham need to find something a bit different. It's with Whitehead on the last, now Phoenix are going to run it. Phoenix in a cul-de-sac here, needs to get rid of the ball. Little kick through, and can he chase it on his own? Let's play on this, Phoenix has it. And then he's met by Daryl Alferts. That was all Phoenix on his own. But Featherstone have the ball back on 30, and there are some tired bodies out there now. And to answer your question, Wayne, how is ET? He's fine. He's here today. I've had a chat with him. He's in good spirits. He's brought his boots. So as soon as this game finishes, ET is going to be on that pitch doing an extra drill. He's ready to play. He's absolutely fine. He just needs clearance from the head injury specialist, because he's had a few of them, hasn't he, this year? If there weren't those rules about head injury, he'd be playing. But we just need to abide by the rules. We're going to see Matty Wildy back for the last 7 minutes here. But yeah, ET's fine. Whether or not he's cleared, who knows? But yeah, he's fine. Featherstone have it. I think both teams now just accepted this game's going to end 26-12. Rovers drilling for touch. Some tired bodies, both sides. Very frustrating this for Featherstone. We talked so much this week and last week about momentum, but it's so difficult when you have that week break anyway, because even if Featherstone win today, a 5-match winning run, how much is that momentum worth when you've got a week off? Do you know what I'm saying? It kind of lessens it for me. It made this game less important in my head. If we play the playoffs next week, I don't think this happens today. I think we're going full pelt into it. We're going in on a 5-match winning streak, and then we're into the playoffs next week. I think the enforced week off next week has been a factor on this game. If that makes sense to you at home. That's how I see it. That's how I feel about this game this afternoon. It feels like a kind of a dead rubber followed by a week off. And that's why it's been so hard to get going. I think if we're into the playoffs next week, or we've got a final league game next week, this doesn't happen. Oldham playing till the end here. Dixon picks it up off a single bounce. He's not had a chance really, Kieran, today. So the last tackle. It's with PLT. Spiral bomb. Akins diffuses it on the full. See, Oldham fans, you can hear getting frustrated behind the post to our right. Travelled in great number again. The Roughyeds. Both behind the post to our right and in both main stands. Final 5 minutes, 26-12. It's going to be a Featherstone Rovers win. But Oldham will conclude the regular season in 4th and have a home playoff in 2 weeks' time. And I think any one of us would have taken that one way at the start of this season, after 12 months ago clinching the League One title and playing teams like Cornwall and, with all due respect, Workington, Whitehaven, Midlands. This is a Featherstone Rovers side that when Sean Long was here head coach a couple of years ago were 8 points clear at the top of the table, the best side outside of Super League. 4 to go, 26-12, 4 tries to 2. Here's the Featherstone lead, and here's Ben O'Keefe popping up on the right wing with Jack Johnson having taken a drive down the middle. Hard for these players as well, I guess, like JJ and Kieran Dixon, who've been on the sidelines, coming in for one very tough away game at one of the big teams in the league, knowing that that's probably going to be their season, depending on injuries. That must be a hard thing to prepare yourself for too. Not wanting to make any excuses for the players, of course, I'm just looking to provide some kind of context to where this performance might have come from. Smith goes crossfield, George Hurst is after it. Good take again by Akins. Home man of the match goes to Daryl Elfetz. Not sure how Sean picks 4 contenders for the fans' vote, we'll see. Here is Elfetz up the middle. In 3 minutes' time, I'll be straight down the fireman's ladder. We're high up on the gantry. Be lowering myself down onto the pitch to bring that reaction that you see on our media channels. Win, lose or draw, we'll bring that same content to you. Don't worry about that. I always feel it's important to do interviews, more so after these games than after the wins. Reynolds will drill down the touchline. Dixon, he's come up with an error. He's knocked on. He's looking at the ref to say, are you sure? He tried to, it was drilled at the touchline at pace. He knew he had to react. He tried to knock it kind of sideways or backwards. And Mr. Rush, our referee, said it went forward. So it's going to be one last Rovers opportunity for points here. Scrum down under the post. Opportunity for Featherstone to cap a fine performance for them with a try. And a reminder, such an important win for Featherstone. They stay in 5th. And this, I would say, this victory might mean that it's going to be Featherstone coming to Boundary Park. It will depend on other results we'll need to check. Here's Gareth Gale. Closing moments, the time's been turned off. Featherstone want one more try. They've already won the game and they get a penalty. 26-12, so there's 2 points if they want them. They might just carry on here. Halifax still leading Widnes 16-8, so presuming Halifax win that, that's Widnes out of the playoff spots. And it'll be Featherstone or Halifax at home for Oldham in 2 weeks' time. Just a single point separating them. I know Featherstone have got Bradford away, so I guess that depends who Halifax have got last. Might end up being Halifax, you know, at Boundary Park. Halifax are away at Doncaster. Ooh. So if Halifax win today and they win at Doncaster, Reynolds is going to take the 2, by the way, and Bradford beat Featherstone, then it'll be Halifax coming to Boundary Park. There's something going on behind the posts. I think some of the Oldham players are being goaded by the Featherstone fans. Reynolds has kicked the penalty. 28-12. And that'll pretty much do us. I'll say thank you to all of you for listening right now before I sprint onto the pitch. We hope to see you all at Boundary Park in 2 weeks' time. Keep behind. I know no one wants to lose. It's very frustrating. Try and keep it positive. The players, the staff, everyone will always read your feedback. So get behind the team as much as you can. As Dixon restarts, one bounce, Akins picks it up. He's not put a foot wrong. And thank you all of you for your continued support, not only of the team but of obviously everything we are trying to do with the media side of things as well, which has really transformed over the last couple of seasons, and It's only because of the supporters that were able to do it. There's the hooter. A worthy win for Featherstone, who breathed new life into their top 6 hopes. A bad day at the office for Oldham, but the regular season ends with Oldham finishing 4th and a home playoff, which we would all have taken at the start of the campaign. We'll see you for the playoffs in a couple of weeks, full time here at Post Office Road. Featherstone 28, Oldham 12.
And lots of kind to all the staff, the players, the coaches, of course, and the supporters of Oldham.